Hi guys, thanks for joining me. I'm going to do a quick Valentine's Day design for you. I am starting with this red and white with some pink in the center split and a 3/4 inch angled brush. And I'm going to do the heart in the center, and I love using a split for this because as you can see, multicolored heart. Of course, I just filled in with the bottom part of the brush that had the light pink on it. Now I am taking a sponge and a pastel rainbow cake, and I'm just going to do kind of butterfly wing shapes over both of my eyes to give some background color. And I like this pretty pastel. It has white and a stripe of pink and kind of a lavendery purple, so it's really pretty on everyone. So I'm just going to keep pressing that into my skin until I get the coverage that I want. And then, of course, my camera cut out, so I'm so sorry. So I did that on both sides, and then I did some double dipped flower petals. So I'm going over it here so you can see what I did. I really did the butterfly shape on both sides, petals up on the top line of both of those butterfly shapes. I extended some petals out onto the corner of my eyes, and then just 3 little double dipped flower petals at the bottom of the heart. So sorry that I didn't film that, but hopefully you can get the idea. So now I'm going to do a series of teardrops. A longer one to start and then 2 smaller ones to follow. So 3 teardrops going down that butterfly wing shape. Now, if you have trouble doing this on yourself, I suggest doing one side then the other. So long teardrop and then match the other and then back and forth. If you don't, then, just match either side. But I think that's a good trick if you have trouble doing this because it's hard to paint on yourself, but you'll probably be doing this on other people more often than not. So then I'm going to do a swirl coming up from my eye, and to get that look of it getting thinner and then thicker, just start with a little bit of pressure on the tip, push down in the middle, and then lift up and back to the tip. And that's going to give you a more interesting swirl than if you just did a solid swirl without a heavier line in the middle. So now I'm taking a nicely loaded brush with some creamy white paint, and I'm going to do a succession of dots going down. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. It helps to have a really creamy, nicely loaded brush to get really, really pretty dots. And of course, I'm making the dot a little bit larger at the top and then going down to the smallest dot at the bottom. So now I'm going to do some teardrops going up under the heart just to give it a little bit of a finishing touch. I probably could have used a little bit of a smaller brush for this, but I made it work. I am using a number 3 Low Cornell, by the way. So teardrops going up, it just gives that cutesy Valentine's Day look that we're going for. And I'm also putting some dots in the corner of my eyes, so the design doesn't feel like it just stops there. And I'm also going to do some larger to smaller dots going over that swirl. And on the other side. And when you're doing something like this, you just want to kind of look for the negative space and then fill it in. I always fill in, and I feel like most people fill in with dots or with starbursts or with both. And again, I'm going to do just a dot on the corner of the eyes, just a little finishing touch. And I'm going to do a starburst on our heart so that it looks like it's sparkling. And a few little accent lines on the opposite side of the heart as well. Just a light touch here. If you go too heavy, you are going to regret it. Oh, a few more dots because I can't help myself just on my little flower petals. You can see the left side that I went over looks a lot better too. Of course, glitter never hurts, so spritz it with glitter. And then if you have time, now I'm always usually pretty specific. I do not outline at events. If I was doing this at an event, I would have stopped a long time ago. But I am doing this on myself. So I am taking a very, very light hand and a very thin round liner brush. I believe this is a 1 or a 2 low Cornell. Great brushes, by the way. And I am just going to give a few of those white lines and dots a nice dark outline. And this does really look great if you have time to do it. But I rarely have time to do this in an event, which kind of makes it nice to be able to do it on myself because it's fun. Now just remember, you don't have to outline the entire thing on those dots. I only did the top half of them, and then you just kind of lightly fade the line out. So here you'll see I kind of flick out, push down and flick out. So doing the same thing on the teardrops that I did with the dots. I'm not lining the entire image, just partially. And then instead of going above that swirl, I'm actually going to go below it just to give it some depth. So I'm kind of pushing down and flicking. And see, it makes a huge difference. It really looks great. But if you had a line of 20 kids, I would not do this step. It looks perfectly fine without this step. It's just a nice added bonus if you have time. Or if you were doing this for a client, go the extra step and outline it. Sometimes too, if it's the birthday girl, then I'll go the extra step. I'll outline their design, make sure that there's tons of dots and glitter. Maybe I'll do a bracelet and a little something on her neck. Boys, I'll do the same. I'll do just little extras. And for a second there, I was gonna outline part of the heart, and then I decided it really doesn't need it. I do want to fix this little line here that doesn't look so great. Overall, I think it's really cute. I was really happy with this design. Of course, right there, I overdid it. And then I'm going to actually show you how I fix it really, really easily. I already have white loaded on another brush, and I'm just going to go right in there and clean it up. So an easy fix. And I really like this heart mask. I think it's sweet without being overkill, too many hearts. And I was happy with it. So I hope you guys liked it. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day.